The inmate would spend most of the day with his family on the visiting yard. We'd leave him out there approximately 2 hours before the time to get him ready. And we'd take him off the visiting yard, escort him back to his cell. The execution team would get him dressed, shave his head, shave his left ankle, and get him ready. By that time, it's right around 12 a.m., 12:01 a.m., and they would call me. I'd be in my office. I stayed in my office.
12 a.m. midnight.
Do what?
Midnight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd stay in my office while they did that in case we got a call from the governor or from the attorney general or from the court putting it off. If we didn't, then somebody would man the phone while I would go to the death chamber. By the time I got down there, they've got him in the chair, strapped in, ready to go. By law, I had to read that death warrant to him. And I would ask him if he had any last request or statement. Most of them didn't. If not, then I would tell the two officers in the death chamber to make him ready. Final readiness was putting the helmet on him and putting the ankle bracelet on him. And then I would leave the death chamber, go in next door to the equipment room. The two officers would come out. We didn't want to leave anybody in there with him for fear that somebody might pass out and fall into him. And once they come out, they'd give me a signal, tap on the door, and it was all over with.
It's just a flip of a switch?
Press of a button.
Press of a button. How did this affect you personally, doing this?
Well,
How many did you perform?
I did 17 men and 1 woman.
How did it affect you personally?
Well, that's a good question. I've never let their problem become my problem. And I didn't put them there. I didn't go out and arrest them and sit in judgment on them. Once they got there, that was their problem. And they knew that. And I tried to treat them in such a way and had my staff treat them in such a way that when the time came, you know, we didn't have to look away from them. We could look them in the eye and let them know what's fixing to take place and what to watch for, and, you know, here it comes. And afterwards, you know, it lays on your mind. It did me, but not a guilt thing. Just hoping that I had done everything to be sure that his case was as perfect as it could be, that there was in no way me or my staff the cause of him having to sit in that chair when maybe he shouldn't have. If he shouldn't have, then it was somebody else's mishandling, not us. So, you know, I don't lose sleep over it. To tell you the truth, very seldom think about it.
What kind of reactions would you see from the men as they approach their last day?
Not a lot. Most of them was ready. They would, you know, we would take them out of their regular cell 24 hours ahead of time and put them in what we call the ready cell, the death cell. Once we got them down there and they were away from all their friends on the cell block, they settled down really well. I can only recall one that seemed like he carried a grudge to the chair. But the rest of them didn't. They let it go. And most of them, at one time or another, during that short period, admitted what they done.
Eventually, they admitted their crimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Not all of them, but most of them.
Is there one in particular that stood out in your memory?
Yeah, but I can't recall his name. Hey, you've seen people that carried, I don't know what you'd call it, but they was mad all the time. You had to be careful how you spoke to them. You say good morning to them, they get mad at you. That's kind of the way this guy was.
What do you think the core cause is of a hardened criminal's behavior? I mean, do you think it was his environment or his family or his brain chemistry? What do you think is the cause of what makes a criminal?
I don't know. If I knew that, I could probably rest easy the rest of my life. I don't know. I think it's a combination of things. I think a lot of them grew up without a father, not knowing who their father was, and getting with the wrong crowd as they grew up, making bad choices, and going around trying to take away stuff that didn't belong to them.